Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to our InVado training here this evening. My name is Andre Maronian, and I'm one of the co-founders of InVado International. And again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedules to join us this evening for a very important training exercise that ultimately will be what you as a representative, whether you're brand new with our company, been with us for quite some time, uh, at different ranks in our plan, whether you're a certified independent rep, CIR, CTL, ETL, RMD, or NMD, and an eventual senior vice president. This is very important. Training is critical. Knowing what you need to do to ultimately get where you need to go is very, very important in a network marketing business, and any business really that you want to be successful in. You have to be prepared for growth. You have to be prepared for ultimately what is going to happen over time. And anybody that understands what InVado is all about, not only do we help people change the quality of their lives, but we have a strategy, a proven, very successful strategy that takes advantage of some pretty serious wealth principles like leveraging your time through the time and efforts of other people, residual income, and then what I like to call the 24-hour cash register, where you're able to set yourself up to get paid in multiple time zones based on the distribution channel that you're able to create. And as our company grows internationally around the world in all the time zones, you can find yourself in a position where you're getting paid while you're sleeping in a residual fashion on the time and efforts of other people that you've actually override. I want to tell you that along this journey, your roles and responsibilities, if you choose to accept it, is going to increase. Meaning the things that you're going to need to do, the tasks, the functions that you're going to have to be able to get good at some point or another, are going to they're going to be more and more of those kinds of things. And that's the case with any type of leadership, right? I mean, no matter what you do, the more successful you are at it, typically you need to be able to be more versatile and able to perform some of those important functions that are necessary. And one of those functions that we're going to break down in detail today is the importance of your one of your first steps in growth, which is to be able to show what we call show the plan, or present the InVado business opportunity. And I'm going to introduce you to something that is in your back office, and I'd recommend that you go into your back office. The updated 1-2-3 one-page presentation is currently located in your back office in the university, and you should be able to just click on that 1-2-3 one-page presentation and have it in front of you. And my recommendation would be to ultimately take notes on it. Get the document out, and take notes on it. You're going to have a little time as I get into this information here to actually download it. But again, I think you'll get a lot more out of this if you have it in front of you and ultimately take notes and so on. So that being said, let me get right into the information and talk about what this, the journey is. First thing we have to understand is that there are steps to leadership. Leadership in our business is not a title, but certainly granted, we call it leadership, but when you look at the different positions and you put two people at the same rank in InVado side by side with each other, even though they may have the same title, they may not necessarily have the same capabilities. Not that they couldn't, but at that very moment they may not. Having a rank in InVado simply means that you make more money for doing the same thing. So if you hit ETL, although that is something that I would congratulate you for, or RMD, although it's something I would congratulate you for, it simply means that you make the RMD pace grade, when you do things. But it's what you do that separates the people that end up at the top of the charts from the people that just don't. So some of these things that you can see on your screen here that are critical and important. First of which is your ability to launch a representative. Now, you're not expected to do that when you first get started with the business for a couple of reasons. One is when you first get started, you have nobody on your team. But we know that at some point you're going to have a team. And we know that there's an individual above you that's at a leadership level that typically is going to help you with launching a rep. So if you get someone started by having a presentation done for you, maybe you put a guest of yours on a webinar presentation or on our YouTube channel where they were able to be exposed to the InVado business there, or at a PBR, home meeting, or some type of presentation, at some point a rep needs to be launched. But your journey needs to be where at some point you're not relying, right, on someone else to launch a representative on your team. At some point, you'll need to learn how to launch a rep. And today's webinar is not about that. We do have webinars that have been recorded that can teach you how to do that. But certainly, launching a rep is important. How do I get somebody that just got started in the business started towards their goals and dreams? The next thing, and that's what tonight's webinar is really going to be all about, is your ability to show the plan. Showing the business opportunity, presenting the business in an effective manner so somebody can make an educated decision on moving forward without the help of an upline, without the help of somebody else or some other tool. You need to, at some point, be able to do that. And again, we're going to show you a very simple, easy, and duplicatable way to get that done. Three-way calls is another level of leadership as well. Being able to get on the phone with somebody that's a prospect that knows nothing about the business but might have been referred to you through somebody in your downline. And you getting on for a quick 2 to 3 minutes to give them a very high level blimp shot of what's going on, to somewhat tease them about the opportunity that they're going to take a look at, and ultimately build value on why they need to get together with you or some other means to hear about the business opportunity. This is a skill, and it's not, they're not difficult things to do, but there's certainly things that at some point, in order for your business to grow at the rate that's necessary, you'll need to do. And then another function that is important is to be able to promote a CTL or promote CTLs, promote people to certain ranks. Somebody gets involved with you, they've been launched, you've been showing the plan, you're doing three-way calls, and you ultimately are able to take them to the first or second rank in the company, second rank being CTL. This is something very important. And again, the better you are at all four of these things, the more comfortable you are with all four of these things with confidence. And more importantly, if I'm a rep in your organization, the more comfortable you make me on your ability to get this done and do this so that you can bridge the gap on what I may not know as a brand new person, but you may, right? Or you do, is very important because people tend to follow based on those things. So based on that, and keeping to the tone of what tonight's webinar is ultimately all about, we need to be talking about the showing of the plan. Show the plan. Now, here is the one and new updated one-page presentation. This is a document that I personally have used in building organizations over the years. I mean, we have used a simple one-page presentation. It's simple. It's duplicatable. It's something that anybody out there can learn. I want you to compare learning to talk about a piece of paper to what you had to do to be effective at your job, right? What you had to do to ultimately pass some of the college courses that you had. I would imagine that it was a lot more difficult, right, for you to be able to get those things done and be successful and competent in those other scenarios compared to just having to learn how to properly talk about this document so that someone else can make an educated decision whether InVado can truly be a plan B that ultimately could become a plan A. I want you to get used to saying something to the effect that I'm gonna mention here, and that is, look, can you talk about a piece of paper? Do you believe that if I helped you, that over time, beyond getting a team going and so on, that you could, if it was really about you learning this piece of paper and you could ultimately, progress throughout, through the comp plan, through the different positions, get promoted, do you believe that's something that you could do? And I would imagine that most people are going to respond like we've had in the past, which is, yes, that's something I could do. So I'm going to teach you how to present this document here tonight. But one thing that is so important that as I teach this to you this evening, you make sure that you take it and you utilize it. Because one thing that I've always said to everybody that I've personally worked with over the years is I said, look, we got to make sure that we understand what we have to do to get where we want to go. Okay. So the first thing is you got to ask yourself, do I want a small group, a small customer base, or a small income? And if the answer is yes, I want a small group, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. Maybe that's what you want. If you want a small group, then you just have to show the plan a little. It's just how many times you talk about this piece of paper to other people. So if you want a small group, small customer base, small income, residual income, and so on, just show the plan a little. But if you want a large group, a big group, well, then you need to show the plan a lot. And I can tell you that the sooner you get to the point where you feel comfortable talking about this piece of paper, then it really becomes a function of how many times you show the plan. Getting used to the idea that, you know what, I'm going to judge my ability to succeed with how many times I'm willing to talk about this document. I had a friend and mentor of mine many years ago that said to me, in order to get to the top in the network marketing industry, you need to be able to master the mundane, master the simple things, but do it again and again and again. And I can tell you the only reason I was able to progress to very high levels in network marketing was because of how much I was willing to talk about a document very similar to this, over the course of a day, a week, a month, a year. I just knew there was one way to plow through to get to senior vice president, and that was to actually show the plan as often as I possibly could. And then I knew to multiply, I had to teach people to show the plan as well. So that if I was showing the plan a lot every week, whether it was part-time or full-time, if I was showing the plan a lot and I was able to teach people to show the plan a lot, well, then my group would grow a lot, right? It would grow quickly and ultimately would be one of the biggest reasons why, I would end up with the distribution that I would have. And, I eventually did have. So that being said, let me get right over and show you the document and walk you through what you're going to need in order to be successful in presenting this opportunity. And hopefully you have this document in front of you. I'm simply going to take you through the document that you're able to present in any way, shape, or form. You see, I'm not saying our BOM slides are not powerful. They are powerful, but it's not necessarily duplicatable. People don't necessarily have a laptop in every scenario. It's powerful to be able to pull a document up that's simple, that can quickly and effectively show the business opportunity. And as you might have read in one of my posts on Facebook or the emails that went out or the InVado in Action that went out, isn't it nice to know that we have a way, a simple way, a convenient way? Because sometimes it's inconvenient when it may be inconvenient for you when it's convenient for someone else that's looking, and I'll tell you, I wasn't kidding when I said the fact that you could present this on the hood of your car. The reason I use that as an example is because I've done that before. I've actually taken documents like this, very similar to this, didn't want to necessarily set up the presentation for a different time. They were interested right now. I could tell. I said, all right, well, look, you got 10, 15 minutes for me? I'll take you through something very powerful. And I would pull it out and, depending on the weather, I would, do it right on the hood of my car. I have actually done that and gotten somebody started based on that presentation. So again, your willingness to actually take people through this presentation and how often you're able to do it, and pointing to the fact that it's simple and easy, and something that ultimately the reason you're in the position that you're in, or as you progress through the company, is ultimately because you learned how to talk about this piece of paper and you were able to show it to other people at the same time. So that being said, let me show you how quick, simple, and easy it is to walk you through the InVado one-page presentation that, again, is located in your back office for download. This exact version is up there right now. So what I would do, and I'm actually going to just take you through it like I would take a guest through it. I would thank you for actually sitting down with me so I can walk you through it. And I would say, look, as I take you through this document, I want you to know that there's two things I want you to do. Number one is I want you to look at this for yourself, for yourself and your decision to be involved with what we're doing in our company as a viable opportunity or plan B that could eventually lead to a plan A. But the second thing I want you to do is I want you to listen to what I'm saying and ask yourself how difficult it is to learn this. Because ultimately, if you can get excited about being involved, but at the same time, you eventually can learn how to talk about this piece of paper, you can go as far as you want in our company. So first and foremost, InVado International is a company that was built by representatives for representatives. It was founded in 2009 in Cleveland, Ohio. The executives and co-founders have over 50 years experience in the industry combined. It was built on ethics, very important to the company. It's a relationship model, relationships first. And we have a very serious charity commitment. As the company grows, marketplaces, cities are going to be impacted more and more as we go there, for whether it be for big events that we do as a company and some other projects and functions that we plan on doing over time. We're currently doing business in the United States and Canada and have plans for international expansion. There are really no limits to where we plan on going. You know, the European marketplace and some of these countries that you see here are some that we definitely want to target first, but plan on going everywhere. And even though you might not know anybody in these other areas, we will show you through a very simple and viable concept where you can end up from the comfort of your own home, your own city, your own town. You can get paid in places that you've never been to before. And we'll talk to you about that. And so I want to take you through three things that can give you everything you need to know to make an educated decision. And I want you to ask yourself, does 1, 2, 3 make sense? And can I eventually talk about 1, 2, and 3? First, number 1, InVado offers services, right? We offer viable, exciting services that will ultimately help people, save money on things that they do anyway. But you might be asking, what separates InVado from most traditional companies? Well, I can tell you that we believe that this probably isn't the first time you've heard about a business like this. But what separates us is this fourth column over here where customers get customers. See, most companies, what they'll do is they'll ask you, do you see an opportunity for yourself? And you may. And then the person gets involved. Nothing wrong with that. And then they'll share with you the concept of leveraging your time through the time and efforts of other people. They'll say, look, build a marketing team and get an override. I'd much rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And then what they'll do is they'll say, look, we offer a product and or service, whatever it may be, and the combination of all the people on the team going out and getting 3 customers each, 5 customers each, 10 customers each, you can start seeing how you can begin capturing and overriding a lot of customers. And wouldn't it be nice for you to get a kickback, not on the customers you acquire, not only on those, but the customers that your team acquires as well? This model has worked for many, many years, and there's people out there that have made a tremendous amount of money just on those 3 things. However, InVado introduces something totally new, viral. The concept of viral is where customers get customers. If you can incentivize that customer in the right way, and the representatives know that by them introducing customers, that's not when it ends, it's when it begins, and other customers will come through those customers, and then you get paid as if you got them yourself. That is the next level in what we call multi-viral marketing. This is a historical time. Now, so let me talk to you about the first service that ultimately allows that to happen. Our lead product, Referdia. Now, Referdia, if I could give you a very high level on what Referdia is, I want you to think about, like a Sam's Club or a Costco, where you've got, these membership clubs where by being a member of that club, you ultimately have the ability to save money, more money than normal, for anything that may be on the shelves inside those 4 walls. And there's plenty of people out there that build that value. They spend whatever money they do for the yearly membership, and then they go and turn it into a tremendous amount of savings. Well, Referdia is somewhat the same, but a whole new level. Imagine getting in a helium blimp and going up to the top of your city and looking down and being able to be a member, right? A member for a very simple $7.99, but you were able to become a customer and ultimately save money. Not in your restrictions on saving money wouldn't be inside those 4 walls, but how about in every business across the city? Wouldn't that be powerful? And if you could turn that into much more savings, that would make sense for anybody. Well, as a representative with our company, all we do is connect and build value. We connect and build value for businesses to be involved with Referdia, and we connect and build value for customers to be involved with Referdia. That's what we do. We connect them by simply showing them the value on how Referdia can help increase sales for businesses and introduce some new things that they've never had before, and a customer to get more value and more savings in times in North America that they're looking for it more than ever before. And all that, and what ends up happening is these businesses that representatives like yourself have the ability to connect will go out and actually market savings to these customers, giving these customers the ability to save money on many things that they already buy from these places. We don't have to go and sell these customers on a product or a service, that they already use. These are name brand locations. These are actually locations that these people already are familiar with in their local area. And as those happen, there's value made. right? The business is able to drive revenue, the customer is able to save money, and that's a win-win. And you are making money for simply connecting them on a monthly basis. But then there's the viral component. Referdia gives very strong incentives for the businesses and the customers to refer their friends, family, or loyal customers. That's what, that's one of the beautiful features that creates the viral component. And for you simply connecting that top row, you also are able to get paid on the bottom. Now, customers and businesses don't want to work. Wouldn't it be great for these customers specifically to be able to go and utilize their social networks like the Facebooks and the Twitters and so on to ultimately lead these customers to our service, and then you get paid as though you did it yourself. All right, so you have the ability to earn money for connecting businesses and people directly or indirectly, both. Now, for businesses, it's up to $149 a month service. And what they're able to do and get for that is to reach and retain customers, right? That they either never have before, or give them the ability to communicate with customers that love them. They get a customized storefront. They get full control of their deals. They can run whatever deals they need to. And these are some of the key things there that they get excited about. They can transact direct with the consumer. They don't find themselves in a position where they're transacting through our merchant account. They're transacting through theirs, so they can exchange money for product and or service is a big deal for businesses. And a 0% transaction fee. We're not looking to get into their action. We're looking to increase their action. This is important. And then on the customer side, for $7.99, right, they get significant savings. What customer wouldn't take $7.99 and convert it into major savings? We have a unique pay later model. They don't pay now when they see something like they're able to reserve or claim deals versus buy deals. There's a 0% financial risk, meaning if they claim the deal and they don't use it, there's no harm, no foul. They're able to just continue on and so on and just ultimately build value for that $7.99, whatever way they like. And then again, they can refer friends for rewards. So that's one of the incentives for the customer to go out and refer their friends for rewards. And this is one of the viral components of this, of our plan. Now, to give you an idea of exactly how it works, the concept is the customer is converting $7.99. So imagine they're getting involved on a monthly basis and they pay $7.99. And then they're able to build a savings book by ultimately going and finding deals that they like from places that you don't have to sell them on. These are places they know. You'll be able to name locations that they have gone to. Have you heard of this place? Have you heard of that place? Right? Because you're in that marketplace, you're able to talk about them and you've seen it already. Well, guess what? If you see a deal you like from any one of those places, you claim the deal. You don't buy it, you claim it, and it ends up over in what we call your offers. So there's local offers, and then they become your offers. And you build up your own value book that certainly would exceed the $7.99 that was saved or that was spent to get involved. What customer wouldn't convert $7.99 for $30, $50, $100? We've had people up to $300 and beyond in savings for that $7.99. That's not a difficult thing to build value on, especially with places that they went to last week. In addition to that, in the United States, we also give them for that same $7.99 some pretty serious discounts on name brands that I don't need to explain to you. You see these here? Again, that's the power of what we do. We're not coming in and attempting to sell you on a concept with respect to a service and or product that competes against these businesses or major name brands. What we're doing is saying, look, we're going to give you discounts to them. And what you'll find is that customers get excited about that because, again, they shop and they bought these things or gone to these places before. All right. And ultimately, one of the things that makes life really a lot simpler for the average representative is we've introduced this card called the Smart Card. What the Smart Card is your ability to hand a customer their first month of service for free to get them on. And then ultimately they take it on from that point forward. It certainly is a very serious and viable option for you as a representative to get that customer to commit. by giving them the gesture of the first month. And again, we give that to you at a discount so that you can give that perceived value out there and get that customer to engage. Once they begin seeing the value of savings, they'll stay on because again, there isn't a customer out there that wants to pay more for what they're buying, using, and so on. In addition to that, we offer energy service. We help people save money on a bill that they're going to pay anyway. And you have the ability as a representative to earn commissions on the usage of the customers. So as they turn their lights on, as they heat or cool their home, gas and or electricity in different places, right? The fridge is plugged in, so on and so forth. You have the ability to get paid in these markets. Now, look, whether you live in this market or you don't, it doesn't matter. You have the ability. There's no restrictions. You have the ability from wherever you are in InVado to market to customers if you have the ability in those areas. But in addition to that, we're going to teach you how you can actually get paid in these marketplaces anyway, even if you don't live in one of them. So that's important. So again, I think you'd agree, we're offering value. We're offering to help a customer better their lifestyle, and give them value. We can help them save money on their energy bill, and we offer them the ability to save money in just about every location in their local marketplace and just about every name brand they've ever bought in their life. Very, very powerful. So that's number one. Number two is getting started with your business. Now, to get started, you become what we call an independent representative, right, with our company. This is business ownership. And you can start your business as early as today. You can do it right away. Right when I complete this presentation, you can get started. And to get started with our company is a $299 startup. And then ultimately, you'll have to choose what kind of back office support pack that you want. We call them web packs. Okay, we have 3 different ones that you can actually choose from. I'll explain that after the presentation's over. But again, every business has overhead, and this will give you the reporting that you need. And depending on how serious you want to be, ultimately, you'll have the ability to take advantage of that. All the way up to our highest one, which is $49.95 a month. But what's great is you'll get a 6 smart card auto ship with it. So in addition to all our reporting and so on, you'll also get 6 smart cards auto shipped to you every month that will help you in your acquisition of customers. It's included in the $49.95. Now, with InVado, this is not a short-term thing. This is something that can ultimately lead to a long-term career path for you. The idea is not only to earn money on things that you do today, but to build up and establish a long-term residual income. And we have a very simple way to get that done. The key is to have quick success, right? For you to get promoted to the position of certified team leader. And what I want you to focus on is just doing one simple thing, and then we're going to do it again and again. And once you've done it, you can show other people how to do it. You'll get 10 customer points, and we'll teach you how to do that. Very simple way to do that. And then introduce 3 people, just 3, that get involved and get 10 customer points themselves. Once that's happened, you've become a CTL, right? And we're running a promotion right now in our company that if you do that in under 30 days or less, you are in line for $1,000. Very powerful. So I think you'd agree there's an incentive for you to get that done, right? And to really see a very nice upside within your first 30 days. We've had people get this done. It hasn't taken them 30 days. They've done it in much less than 30 days. Now, once you've done that, phase 2 is you help others do that. Help other people get their $1,000. Very exciting. And again, there's an incentive for them to do it. Now, remember, as they're doing it, right, and they're going after their 1,000, your team is growing. Your customer base is also growing at the same time. Phase 3 is lifestyle. Do that enough times, and eventually what you'll see is your lifestyle will change. You'll be able to do things, afford things, maybe upgrade your lifestyle, change your car, your home, and so on. And that's the ultimate goal, right? Is to change the quality of your life. Wouldn't it be great if you were able to start next year better than this year because you were simply following this very simple way of getting it done? Now, when it comes to getting paid, we have 2 ways of getting paid: personal compensation and team compensation. To complete number 2 here, personal compensation, what I'm going to spend time on. The first thing is you might be thinking of people that you would love to have look at this piece of paper, right? You'd introduce those people to us. We're not expecting you to talk about this today. I'll do that as I'm doing for you today. But every time you introduce somebody to the business opportunity and you become a CIR, which is, again, you get your 10 points, every time you introduce somebody and they get certified with their 10 points, they become a CIR, which is 10 points in under 30 days, you will get a $20 kickback, a bonus, right? Every single time that happens. So again, you can start making money. Now, as you get promoted, that will go up. But this is just, again, right out of the gates. In addition, every time you acquire a customer personally, you will make a commission every single month on that customer. Every time you connect a business to refer to you, you can earn up to $10 a month for those businesses that you connect. Every customer that you actually connect to our service, you will earn 50 cents a month on those customers. And then ultimately on our energy service, right, you will get a commission based on these rates personally every time you connect a customer in the markets that we provide energy in. So you have the ability to earn monthly on each unique customer. There are people in our company that have acquired many, many customers and are in a position where they can enjoy a residual income on those customers. Again, residual income is doing something once and getting paid again and again and again. Now, let's talk about number 3. And this is where people really can take this to a whole nother level: team compensation. Now, why is team compensation important? Because again, if you remember from my statement earlier, I'd much rather get paid 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And when it comes to building a team, this is your opportunity to get paid on the efforts of other people. They get paid too, but isn't it exciting to know that you can? So again, you start as an IR. These are the different earned positions in the company. And the idea is when you be CIR is certified independent rep, then we've got certified team leader, executive team leader, regional marketing director, national marketing director, and senior vice president. As you move rightward, you make more money for doing the same thing. The idea is every time somebody joins your organization, now here's the key in team compensation. This isn't just if you do it, this is if your team does it, right? Meaning somebody gets involved like myself on your team and I go out and see the value of going after my own $1,000 or building my lifestyle up. As that happens, you can override and get bonus money of up to $250 per representative, depending on what position you are at the time when that happens. That is powerful, and I think you'd agree could add up to a very nice, at the very least, part-time income or bonus money, and it could lead to some full-time money. But we don't stop there, okay? And please understand, to get promoted is simply helping other people. It's automatic advancement, and for every new certified rep, you'll get paid. So again, we don't promote you because we like you. We promote you because you got the job done, you hit the requirements, and you get promoted. Residual income is very similar. As you move rightward, you make more money for the same thing. Each of our services has what we call a commission value. And then there are percents earned against that commission value. So the idea is for every storefront or business on Referdia, you can earn the commission value is up to $15. And what percent of that commission value you're entitled to is dependent on the position you are in the company. So as you are promoted higher, you will get a higher percent of that money every single month. Remember, this is when your team does it. This isn't when you do it. You can, but this is when your team does it. 75 cents a month is split to different people that override the individual that gets the customer. But again, the percent is based on the position you are in the company. And same concept with energy. So I think you'd agree that if you just focus on what we talked about in number 2, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, your team will continue to grow. As you get promoted to higher positions, you make more money for both. So the key is not to get necessarily caught up with what specifically happens. Just understand that if you just progress through the plan, you will get paid more for doing the same thing. It all ends up a win-win. And let me talk about the final win on the team compensation side. This is something we're very excited about. We take a lot of pride in this, and it's our InVado rewards program. Now, what this is based on what we call coded team billing volumes. If I could translate that, it's about helping your team create a volume of customers. And as those customers are billing, you have the ability at the different ranks in the company, as you can notice here, ETL, RMD, NMD, and SVP. So at ETL and higher, you can qualify for our rewards program. And the way it works is this. Once you achieve the position, you start down the journey for the different rewards. Now, I will tell you that we didn't put every one of the rewards on here. We do have a catalog that you can select from for when you actually hit different milestones. But at the same time, and that catalog will continue to grow with more items with time. But to give you an idea, as an ETL, once you hit the position and then you're helping people on your team after you do that, get out of the gates, have success, bring on customers, not only will you and them get paid on the services like you saw above, but you also begin building your credits, if you will, up towards different rewards, such as, the first level is where you could choose, like, as an example, between either an iPad 2 or an iPad mini, as an example. And we will go ahead and give that to you for accomplishing that, in addition to the money that you're making. And then all the way up to, our expense piece. This is powerful. You get up to a very doable milestone and then begin getting a $400 a month. You hit the milestone once, and then from that point forward, you're getting $400 a month loadable onto a Target card, a Shell gas card, or even an Amazon.com card that you could use. I think you'd agree, you could probably make some pretty interesting use out of that reward. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to tell somebody, look, I didn't even go all the way to the top of the company, but I got involved, hit a position, and was able to get to a point where I haven't had to pay gasoline for the last 6 months. Why? Because I simply hit a milestone. I help people succeed. That's the idea of how to progress through this. So as you can see, as you hit higher positions, you end up qualifying for more and more rewards, right? Things like, as you can see, a laptop, a car allowance, right? For a Jaguar or Cadillac, $1,000 a month towards a Jag or Cadillac of your choice, right? You can get a wardrobe. This is a $10,000 wardrobe, right? You can just get in suits, custom suits, male, female. Home improvement, right? Wouldn't that be nice? We also have a mortgage reduction, a $60,000 mortgage reduction milestone. Wouldn't that be nice? Get there, and we call your mortgage company and ultimately put $60,000 down on your mortgage. And at the highest position, senior vice president, you can start seeing some wild things. I mean, this top one, $2.5 million towards a mansion. So again, look, we're not telling you have to go out and hit every single one of these. It's up to you. But isn't it nice to know it's available? When I was an engineer, here was what was available. My salary and maybe a 3% raise every year, which didn't happen, right? There was no chance for me to do more or less and end up in a better position. I couldn't go after rewards, any of that. So it's very exciting to know that while you're building your income with the company, there's very nice bonus money that can be made, especially if you get promoted. There's very nice residual money that can be made, especially if you get promoted. And then there's nice rewards that can be earned, as you get promoted from ETL and higher. And we will teach and train you every step of the way on how to get that done. It's very, very simple. So with that, as I take you through this presentation, I want you to ask yourself these two questions. One is, does it make sense? And two, can you eventually learn how to talk about this piece of paper? Now, folks, for those of you that are listening right now for the training exercise, the next step that I would do is, once I finished it, notice it really only took me about 20 minutes, 20 to 25. It was about 20 minutes. That's how fast you should be able to go through it. Ultimately, they're going to have some questions, but here's the thing. I would ask them right at this point, I'd say, look, I've just taken you through the business presentation. First, I'd like to ask you, what did you like about what you heard? Now, I'm not going to ask them what they think, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't care what they think. We don't care what they think. If we cared what people thought, you know what I mean? Then we'd have a lot of broke people out there. We're looking to upgrade lives. We're looking for people that are ultimately wanting to do better things. So I always ask, what do you like? And then I want to get a positive response. By the way, if they give me anything but a positive response, I'll say, look, I didn't ask you that. I'm asking you, what did you like? And by asking them what they like, what typically happens is you get their hot button. Well, and the answers will vary, but they'll tend to fall in some general categories. They might say something like, well, I love the money. You see, when they tell you that they love the money, I don't start talking about other things. That's what I talk about. When they tell me that they love the fact that I can upgrade my life, or maybe I can have time back with my family, or this and that, that's what I'm going to spend my time on. I'm not going to spend my time on things that they didn't like. So I want to know what they liked. What did you like about what you heard? And as soon as I'm done supporting whatever they said, meaning if they said, I love the idea that I could have time back in my, that maybe I could spend more time with my family, Absolutely. Residual income does that by building it up. Wouldn't it be great? You don't have to tell me, but let's just say your expenses were $3, $4, $5,000 a month. And what if we got your residual income to $5,000 a month and you didn't need your job anymore? What would you do with your day now? Right? And I would assume it'd probably be spend more time with your family. And that's exactly what we will help you accomplish. And once I support whatever their hot button was, I'll ask them the final question. Well, then great. Do you see an opportunity for yourself? If they say, yes, I do, my next step is great. Let's get your startup out of the way. Let's get you signed up. Let's get you an ID number and let's get you certified right away. Let's make you a CIR right away and begin planning the 3 people that we're going to get involved in your business. And you know what? For the aggressive folk out there, you know what you're going to do? You're going to say, who can you put me in front of today? Who can you put me in front of by tomorrow? And let's get you your 3 people out of the way. We can get your 10 out of the way today, and I'll show you how to do that. And then let's help get your 3 people in the business within the next 24 hours. Let's get that to happen. Shoot, let's do it today. Because once we get those 3 people lined up, you could be in position for $1,000 by tomorrow. And folks, that's the name of the game. That's how simple it is. And by doing this again and again, I promise you, you'll get better and better at it. Don't be intimidated about the fact, well, Andre, my upline is an RMD and they're just better at it than me. I'll tell you a valuable story that happened to me. I remember thinking the same thing because, everybody has a first presentation. And I remember that the person that was doing the presentations for me, he was just good at it. And the reason he was good at it compared to me is because I'd never done it. I mean, it's kind of easy to be good at something compared to someone else that has never done it. So I always felt like, well, I don't want to ruin this person. Let me put them in front of them. And so I would try to lobby for that person's time. And, it worked for a while, but then I started to realize something after a while, a couple things. One was when I had to rely on him, my business could only grow so fast. It was like having a Ferrari that could only go 15 miles an hour because I had to worry about his schedule. I had this guy, John, that wanted to hear about the business, but I couldn't put him in front of it because Dan wasn't available until next Thursday. It was that kind of a thing. So I knew that at some point I had to step up, and I didn't want that to be a limitation on my ability to succeed and grow. But the second thing I learned was very interesting, and it's something that I've taught for years, and I want to make sure you understand this. It's one of the biggest facades out there, and it was kind of comical after the fact. The only person that knows that someone else is better than you is you. If I'm a guest sitting in front of you at a Starbucks, right, or in the hood of your car or in a PBR, the guest doesn't know who the expert is. The guest doesn't know your upline. All they know is whatever you tell them is. That's what they know. So don't be intimidated about the fact that maybe this is the first or second time you're doing a presentation. Just do it. Because people right now across the world are looking for opportunities. They're hurting. And we have a viable one. We have something that helps them. We're not making money at the expense of other people. We're making it with them. We're not hurting a customer. We're helping them. And then we benefit at the same time. You know what? That's an incredible opportunity and something that's quite doable. And for $299, it's simple, right? When you consider that with respect to all the other businesses out there, it just doesn't get any better than that. And you have to enroll in your mindset. You have to think that way. You have to believe that wholeheartedly to the point where you sit down with someone with confidence and say, look, I'm about to show you something that if you try to do on your own, right? Imagine you tried to do an InVado on your own. It would cost you hundreds and hundreds of thousands to get out of the gates. Hundreds. And you'd have a tremendous amount of headaches where by getting involved with InVado, you bypass all of that. You're able to leverage the customer service. You're able to leverage the systems that are in place. You're able to get involved and not have employees, right? And ultimately, you know what my bills are? My web pack to help me track my business and my cell phone and anything and getting around from time to time. Compare that to any other opportunity and you'll realize quickly that it makes more sense to be involved here versus the risk on doing it any other way. So that's the key. And then finally, remember this $1 million advice. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person, right? You cannot say it. My first presentation was so bad, the guy signed it. So understand it'll happen. Get comfortable with this. Present it and teach it to your teams. Teach your team how to present it. When I would do these presentations at first, I would go around and do them anytime I could. I had a job when I was involved in network marketing. I didn't start full time, right? I ultimately built value to go full time. But I had a philosophy. I had to show the plan. I knew that the top people in the company were showing the plan more than the bottom people in the company, right? The people that were all at the same rank as me, I knew that the way for me to outproduce them was to show this document faster, more often than they did. So I started getting creative. I said, what's interesting is I got to have a lunch every day at noon at my job. Well, that was my time. So I said, if I'm going to eat anyway, why don't I try to set up presentations and I'll take them through a document while I'm eating? And I got to tell you, I got through so many presentations just by taking that mentality on. By me sitting down face to face with somebody over lunch, said, look, I got to eat lunch anyway. Let's sit down. I'll show you the opportunity. Okay, great. We would sit down. I would take them through it quickly, answer their questions, and we would have fun. But man, I'll tell you, I was able to get a tremendous amount of presentations and tremendous amount of reps started during that time slot. So keep that in mind. So look, I've taken you through this. I will tell you that this is going to be uploaded onto our YouTube channel so that you can watch again and again. And I can tell you right now that that he or she on this line that shows the plan the most will end up having the most success. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you can ask anybody in the industry that's out there that ultimately will get you where you need to be. And I will tell you that again, repetition is the mother of all learning. Make sure you watch this again. This should be up on YouTube here within the next 24 hours. Watch it again if you need to. But again, get out there, do it, show the plan. The more you show the plan, the quicker and the quicker you actually and faster you get where you want to go in our company. So I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules to join us here this evening. It's been an honor and a privilege. May God bless you, your families, and InVado International, everyone. Take care and have a great night. Bye-bye.